On April 4th, 2020, a young 19, soon-to-be 20-year-old LunaticJ with less than 40 subscribers to his name uploaded a video on YouTube now known as Why Mario Sunshine Speedrunners Use Hacks. This was the first speedrunning related video that I made. Now, 5 years later on my 25th birthday, I thought it'd be fun to take a look back at my first speedrunning video, maybe cringe at the old video quality, and just take a nice look back at how far I've come in the past 5 years. I decided to get into making speedrunning content because I loved speedrunning so much, and my previous idea of making YouTube videos like being a general game review guy like Scott the Woz didn't really pan out all too well. And I was thinking for quite a while on what should be my first topic. And initially I thought of something like, why do speedrunners play the Japanese version? Only for Easyscape to make the video just a couple days after I thought of making it myself. So then that got my mind really worked up. What's a speedrun that I really like watching? Mario Sunshine. There aren't too many Mario Sunshine speedrun videos out there compared to 64 at the time, and one community discussion that was a hot topic around this time was whether the intro sequence of the game should be skipped or not. And back in February of that year, the community voted to allow using a hacked save file which skipped all of the cutscenes but none of the gameplay in the intro while adding a time handicap. And I thought it would be like a really spicy topic for my first speedrun video, which is honestly pretty brave of me to do. This easily could have just been super controversial of me. But people really seem to enjoy the video, so let's see if I'll enjoy watching it back 5 years later. But first, a word from today's sponsor, Raycon. Look, everyone likes listening to tunes on the go, especially moms. So what's a more appropriate Mother's Day gift than Raycon Everyday Earbuds? They're the perfect gift. Whether she's hitting the gym or busy with work, wherever she goes, premium audio quality follows. With a wide selection of vibrant colors and protective cases, you have lots of options to pick from that fits your mom's style the best. Personally, I vibe with blue and the ocean. Raycons are great for everyday activities, and my earbuds of choice for working out. They're sweat resistant and have active noise cancellation, which helps with my focus. When I'm done, back in the charging case they go. To get a pair just in time for Mother's Day, go to buyraycon.com/lunaticj to get 20% off site-wide. Brought to you by Raycon. If you're a speedrunner, you probably hate unskippable cutscenes. If you're a Super Mario Sunshine speedrunner, you really hate unskippable cutscenes. I was really proud of that intro, and I still am to this day, because I got the idea from the beginning of a FitMC video, this Minecraft YouTuber that makes videos on 2b2t, the oldest anarchy server in Minecraft. And there's a video that just started like that, and I think the framing of this video's thesis is just so perfect there. That's actually exceptional for a first video. For several years, Mario Sunshine speedrunners have been forced to watch the same 3 lengthy cutscenes at the beginning of each run. This all changed, however, on February 23rd, 2020, when the results of a community-wide poll resulted in the legalization of 2 new timing methods, which allowed for the opening cutscenes to be skipped. The first new method, known as Peach File, is relatively pure, consisting of loading a save on the Delfino airstrip that has already watched 2 of the cutscenes. The other method, however, is much more controversial, as it involves the use of a hacked save file to skip all 3 intro cutscenes. Within the speedrun community, this has left people feeling either really happy about it, believing the decision to be progressive and beneficial for the future of the game, or feeling negatively about the decision, believing the integrity of the vanilla game and the run itself to be tarnished. It's really funny looking at this 5 years later, because I am confident that hacked file literally saved the game at a high level competition. You look at the leaderboards today, and the top 10, or almost all of the top 20, is just all hacked file with a few exceptions. And not too many people do Peach File. It's still an option, and even average Trey's any% PB uses Peach File, but it just sticks out like a total outlier, and I think that's really funny. Almost sticks out as funnily as this thumbs down Facebook symbol, which I thought was just the perfect thumbs down symbol to use for some reason. I don't know why. I easily could have just taken a thumbs up and flipped it upside down. I'm loving this early LunaticJ weirdness already.
Before I dive straight into the whole story, I need to describe the first several minutes of the speedrun and provide context to the cutscenes within. The timer begins upon starting a new save file, after
What
which
was that
a
flicker
cutscene about
there?
a
That was
minute
just
and
so
10
weird.
seconds long plays. Upon regaining control of Mario, you jump and dive to the other side of the airstrip and collect—
I might not be the best at, like, video quality back then, but at least I knew how to credit people. Let me just move that over there. I don't want to be blocking that text now. That big impact font text with that giant Twitch logo.
After that ends, there is a short flight with a polluted
Oh,
piranha
come on. I really did that my first video? Oh, gosh. I know Summoning Salt and I share, like, a similar pet peeve when making videos. If you mispronounce something, don't just leave it in the video and put a subtitle on screen that says what you meant to say. Just re-record the line. Don't be lazy. Or you could do a big brain move and make a mistake pronouncing something on purpose so that a YouTube comment will catch on and take the bait.
Within the first 7 minutes of the run, there is less than a minute of gameplay and 5 minutes 45 seconds of cutscenes.
I did it
It isn't
again.
until
Are
a
you
long
kidding
cutscene
me?
ends that the run
2 times within the first 2 minutes of my first video. President LunaticJ is not pleased.
Hell, it's safe to assume that many Sunshine runners have spent hundreds of hours of their life watching these intro cutscenes. You could imagine that after a while, runners would eventually get fed up with the opening cutscenes.
As someone that really got into speedrunning the new Zelda game Echoes of Wisdom for a couple months after it came out, that game takes Sunshine's issue and makes it worse, because you have like a short minute-long cutscene at the beginning, then about 2 minutes of gameplay, then a little short escape sequence, and then you're just mashing through cutscenes and dialogue for 6 minutes, and it's just not fun. And solving that kind of intro issue is nowhere near as easy as Sunshine. It's funny. 5 years ago, I made a video about a game where runners are demotivated to grind runs because of the intro cutscenes. And now in the present day, I find myself demotivated with my main speed game at the end of last year because of that same issue, but even to an extreme. As I'm recording this video right now, the Echoes of Wisdom community is holding a vote within the community on what to do with the intro and how much of it should be skipped. And no, I'm not making a video on it.
The community was beginning to tear itself apart, with people arguing whether skipping the intro should be allowed or not. This culminated into an official poll on July 9th, 2018, which would decide what the official timing method should be: file select or race file.
I like for the example of showing the community tearing itself apart is just 3 tweets and censoring the name of only one of the 3 people's tweets I've shown. Just brilliant.
This culminated into an official poll on July 9th, 2018, which would decide what the official timing method should be: file select or race file. The poll was open for a week, and only people with verified runs on leaderboards were allowed to vote.
As it should be.
To prevent outsiders from skewing the results, all run submissions were frozen for a full week
And
until
that's
the voting
smart.
period had ended. On July 18th, the poll had ended, and the winner was file select, with 56% of the vote. Race file had lost, and therefore was considered an invalid timing method. While the vote was close, it is clear that people were uncomfortable with skipping any gameplay, even if it's a small amount. After all, time can be gained or lost in the short airstrip section, so beginning a run assuming it took exactly 58 seconds is unfair. While this decision would please those wishing to maintain the status quo, it didn't leave the opposing side very happy.
I really like how in this video I established that there had been a precedent set by a previous vote, but the solution that they proposed wasn't convincing enough to override the current status quo of file select. It's also just really interesting looking at how close the vote is, because a lot of communities nowadays will actually require a supermajority vote rather than just barely getting more than 50% in order for a decision to affect the leaderboards.
Going into 2019, discussion about racefile would occasionally flare up, but nothing of substance would usually come from it.
Oh my god, Zem was savage, calling Sunshine dead. Sunshine truly was a speed game that got ruined. Jeez, I'm actually kind of surprised. I don't have too much to critique about my own video other than the fact that the audio balancing kind of sucks and the visual quality is not so advanced. I actually find myself hooked to this video almost like someone else made it, and I'm just invested.
One of the most interesting things about the Sunshine community allowing hacked file is the response from runners and outsiders alike. The top level runners seem to be more motivated to grind for the record, in due part to hacked file. As it turns out, it wasn't just runners getting sick of the intro, but many viewers were as well. Having skippable cutscenes has allowed new runs to get going very quickly after resets, and will keep viewers engaged in watching livestream attempts on Twitch.
And speedrunning is all about fun, and the friends we make along the way.
But in reality, there seems to be more positivity regarding allowing hacked file. The negativity for the most part stems from people who are not part of the Mario Sunshine speedrun community, and their opinions carry little weight. The decision to...
It's funny that I say that considering I made this video just as a viewer and not a runner of Sunshine. So that is pretty ballsy of me to say that, to speak for the entire community.
The Sunshine speedrun community knew their game better than anyone else, and thus should be allowed to make decisions to modify the rules if they agree it will make the runs more enjoyable, both for viewers and runners alike.
Amen. I'm actually kind of surprised at how good my first speedrunning video was. I knew that there's a lot stylistically that I've just evolved so much from. My line delivery's a lot more confident, I'm not recording in a closet anymore, and my editing has probably gotten better. I can safely look back 5 years ago and say I am proud of the video that I made. And I hope to continue making more videos to make y'all proud for at least 5 more years. Thank you so much for watching,
And remember to shoot for the moon.